Hello and welcome to yet another video, and in this video it is something special because I'll be unboxing this camera in here. Well, the camera that's in the box, it's the 550D. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So before I dive into the unboxing, Happy New Year first, and I believe if everything goes according to the schedule, this video will be the first video of 2022 for my channel, and pretty much on the first, if not the second. Anyway, let's go into the unboxing. So this camera kind of have a special place in my heart because when I was kind of being serious about photography, the next camera I upgraded to was the 550D pretty much before I went to the 7D, and before I went to the 5D Mark II was the 7D. So this camera, I used to own it for a while, but obviously had to like sell it for the 5D Mark II when upgraded to full frame. So yeah. This camera can be found for roughly 90 euros nowadays if you're willing to like be patient and bid on eBay rather than, you know, going for the buy it now options, because for the buy it now options it's usually around 110, 120 euros. If you're paying more than that, then it's usually like a whole kit, or you're getting extra accessories like memory cards, bags, what have you. So yeah, let's hope that this is a really well packaged box. And look at that. Here is the box. Obviously the kit lens is not in here. So if you watched my previous video on the 400D unboxing, you know that I actually like to unbox these old cameras because I really love these cameras. It's really nice to have, and I don't know, it's also kind of really fun. And this is how the person packaged it. If you open the box, the person kind of cut the layer. There's usually a layer where you fill the instruction manuals and everything in, but yeah. Anyway, next strap, which I will definitely not be using, but I will definitely disinfect that. USB cable, which has been clearly used, but it's okay. I will definitely be using it simply because I love these free software that Canon has been giving since pretty much, I think, the 450D, the 1000D, the 40D line. So ever since those cameras came out, they have this Canon utility app where you can just tether the camera to the computer, whether you have Linux, Mac, Windows, what have you. So yeah, I will not be using this. It's the video out cable. I have tons of these power cable, and this is a power brick, so charging brick rather. At the very bottom is instruction manuals, French, Italian, German, and Dutch, I believe. Anyway, that's not important right now. This is the battery. Look, it's like a cut up Ziploc bag, and yeah. So here is the battery. Finally got it out. And last but not least is the body cap. This is like an off-brand body cap. This is the camera. And the camera itself. Wow, this thing is... It's been a long time since I held this, you know, like I sold my 550D like so many years ago, and it was actually quite expensive when it first came out, but it actually did a lot of things when it first came out. No SD card, but that is to be expected. This is the original body cap, and it's actually in a pretty good condition. All the flaps actually close properly, practically no dust inside the flaps. That's been in a pretty good condition. It's nice, and the grip is also really nice. So on the 500D and 550D onwards, Canon increased the entry-level grips by, well, the size of the grips by 5%, and it actually feels much more comfortable than say like the 1000D here, where it's a little bit smaller, but you do notice that 5% difference actually. So yeah, and then I also have here with me the 300D. I told you I really love collecting these entry-level cameras. It's really, really nice. I always find it really, really nice and fun to use kind of cameras, and I definitely will make a video of this camera as well. The video on the 400D is coming up. I have spent quite some time actually playing with this camera, and it's also a really, really fun camera to shoot. It gives you a lot of unique look as well. And this camera will actually also give you really, really nice and unique look as well. And I don't know, it's just something about it that I really miss a lot. And having it in my hands again, it's just really, really nice. Oh, the eye cup is actually original, that's good. Because usually with old cameras, they give you like off-branded eye cups, simply because the original one probably broke or ripped off a few years ago, I guess. But yeah, definitely a video of this camera is coming up pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. So yeah, is there any juice? Keine Speicherkarte. So yeah, there is juice, but actually let me show you the sound. That's that classic entry-level sound. This sound pretty much started like from the 500D or the 450D. The 1000D also has this really loud pitch, kind of high pitch at the end sound, shutter sound. Whereas back then with the 400D, the shutter sound is kind of more quiet, but longer. Yeah, it's still high pitch, but it's a different kind of high pitch, and it's kind of longer high pitch at the end, if that makes sense. And you know, a lot of memories are just pretty much coming into my head right now, like the feeling, and also like when I was using it back then. And you know, like a few weeks ago, I even looked at images that I shot with this camera from so many years ago. And I was like, David, what were you doing? Those images look so crap. Like, yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna put a lens on, just a random lens, just to test out the autofocusing system and also to finally look into the viewfinder. So yeah, but this camera was pretty much like a breakthrough camera back then, because it's an entry-level camera that shoots 1080p video, and the low light capability was actually quite nice. It had 18, or it still has 18 megapixels, and that pretty much stayed for a long time. But it's not the same 18 megapixels as on the 7D. Only the resolution is the same from my experience, because the 7D's files, especially the JPEG, they're actually a little bit softer than the 550D. So the 550D has a slower sensor readout than the 7D, and it actually has a sharper JPEG result, but the actual imaging processing and the sensor readout is slower. But that's not really something to complain about, especially if you're shooting most of the time in RAW anyway, because in RAW, it just gives you a plain flat image anyway that you have to edit, so yeah. But it also makes sense that the 7D would give you a much softer, or well, not much softer, just a bit softer, and also a bit more flat image, because most people who are shooting 7D will tend to edit images rather than the 550D owners, where most of them will just post on social media right away back then. So yeah, anyway, it's very familiar. Those 9.9 AF points, it's so fast for an entry-level camera, but yeah, I'm actually speechless right now because, yeah, you can probably tell from the video. I'm also a little bit tired, as you probably can hear from my voice, so I will not bore you with this video any longer. I will definitely come out with a video about this camera, talk about this camera, and some of the viewers actually requested this camera, so I will definitely talk about it sometime later, definitely not anytime soon, simply because I really want to play with this camera, spend a lot of time with it, maybe a month or two, and then make a video rather than making a video next week or something, simply because I really want to understand this camera again. I want to really use it in different scenarios, and also especially when the Netherlands, which is another country that I'm living in, just impose a really hard lockdown, so it'll be kind of challenging to go out and find something to photograph or even hire a model. So yeah, we'll see how things goes. Otherwise, ooh, the grip here is coming off a little bit, but otherwise the condition is pretty good. I really love the aspect ratio of this 3x2 inch, 3x2 aspect ratio of this 3-inch screen. So yeah, if you need a free photography guidebook, absolutely for free and absolutely for a beginner, or if you just have nothing else to read, feel free to just download it. It's on my website. The link is down in the description below. And just click and download. You don't need to submit your email address, nothing, just really click and download. So yeah, otherwise I wish you a great time. Stay safe, have fun shooting. See you next time. Bye.